You see, it's time once again for Middle Earth Quest, part of the Real People multi-game solitaire mega tournament. I'm gonna go right into playing because I want to try and get a little bit more done today play-wise because it's more fun. But I just wanted to say, get this on the table before we get going. I made a decision about the whole boat thing with Aqualad. I think he would agree to this stipulation. For those of you who don't know, the winner of this is not necessarily one who's going to move on in the tournament. There's going to be another game depending on which side wins this, and you can look at the list for details as to which game that would be and if Sauron wins or if the heroes win. But there's a certain amount of points players will be able to carry over, and then the player with the most points basically between the two games gets to move on to Here I Stand, gets to be the Ottoman Empire. Anyway, so Aqualad, actually Mooney, has agreed that should he end the game with a boat, he will get an additional point. Now the cost of that is, if he doesn't end the game with a boat, he's going to lose a point. I think that's fair. I don't know how easy or hard it is to get a boat, but it seems like, you know, it's a good wager. I bet you can't get a boat. How much you would have bet? I bet you 1 point. Okay, you're on. All right, so let's get to playing. So Curly just had his turn. It struck me when I was looking at his card, 3 things that describe him are he's ambiguous, deceitful, and I forget what the other one, but and conniving. So if you're ambiguous and deceitful and conniving, would you be saying that you're those things? I would think not, but then he would be lying by saying those things if he wasn't in fact ambiguous, deceitful, and conniving. So maybe he's a little more complex than I thought. So let's take a look at what happened during his turn. First thing, oh, this is fun. So I put Mooney right in front of this event card because this event card says, "Then there is a lady in the golden wood, as old tales tell," he said. "Few escape her nets, they say." So what that means is that whoever gets to this place, Lothlorien, first gets a boat. So now here we have a kind of a tricky situation because the other players, both Scoots and Red Tomato, are aware that if he gets a boat and keeps it for the rest of the game, I'm not sure if he can lose a boat, but well, I guess he could if he was defeated. That would be one way he could lose a boat. They're going to be down a point in the rest of the tournament, so that makes the boat more valuable for everybody. So there might be a race to Lothlorien. Red Tomato is the closest to being there, so we'll see. So Curly put a bunch of influence around this area, built up this wall. So now if anyone other than Scoot's character Eleanor goes to either of these two spaces, they will be in peril. Put a monster on Isengard makes total sense. He's got a plot there. He also played another plot, Loss of an Heir, which is in Minas Tirith. The event also put Boromir back, right there. So there's a lot of little treasures down here for Eleanor, who just got attacked by a horse. She, of course, will resolve that on her turn. She'll get ambushed by the Black Serpent Lord of Horeb. She's got a hearty chunk of cards now, so it did pay off, I believe, for her to go south instead of just fighting the Serpent first, because she was able to get a little stronger. Anyway, upshot is, I bet Aqualad is regretting that vacation because now he's clear up here. His boat's down there. Of course, if he had a boat, he could get down there pretty quick. Yeah, and he's last in the turn order. I might, since it's going to come into play now, so whoever gets there first gets the boat, I might randomize the turn order. I think that's only fair, since there's they're sort of in a meta competition. I rolled for turn order, ended up being the same turn order. It's going to be Red Tomato, Scoots, and then Aqualad, or Mooney the Aqualad. I'm sorry, I keep calling him by his character name, and I call the others by their real people name. I'm going to try and address that. It's tricky when I'm a person playing a card who's playing a card. So it's like yeah. Anyway, I'll work on the nomenclature, and we'll get regular turn order. So Red Tomato's up. Some tough choices for Red Tomato. He's not super interested in going after the boat. He'd like to have a boat, but he's not the super competitive type. He's enjoying the game, and that's the main thing for him. Of course, he's going to try to win, but he's not going to put that above the story, you know. But still, everything he wants is down in this area. There's a big chunk of things down in this area. The boat's good for everyone. He's not going to specifically get it to deprive Mooney of it, but it would be nice to have. His quest is to get right here, right now. There's a mouth sitting on that. And then there's also one of the plots is right there on Isengard. So going down here is very attractive. It's also very terrible because there's peril. He didn't get to draw an encounter last turn, so he doesn't really want to have a peril again, because that keeps him from getting one of these fun cards. There's monsters, minions. So his other option is to go back towards Gandalf here, spend a couple cards to get there, but then, where is he going to go? He's going to turn right back around, so that's no fun. So what's he going to do? Probably, if he spends the cards, it's going to cost some cards to get down here to his goal. He's going to have to face this minion. It's tricky. Red Tomato moved from the Red Horn Gate, across the mountains here, to the Gladden Fields, where he was forced to choose by the Dark Lord Sauron between gaining corruption or losing some favor. He lost 2 favor in the process, and then he went south to Lothlorien, where he did indeed obtain a boat. Not a lot of other choices for him, really. So Red Tomato had his guy Barivor press on past Lothlorien to Emyn Muil. Very curious move. A lot of his goals were in this area. He decided to go down here, perhaps because he's so adventurous. I don't know. Right after that, Scoots got ambushed by the Black Serpent, Lord of Horeb. They've done their combat. Let's see how it went down. It's kind of nice. The combat system has you keep things in order, so it's easier to do a play-by-play. So they started off her hiding and him concentrating, which was kind of a fun way to start an ambush. I'll think about ambushing you. I'll hide from... Okay. And then she decided to concentrate. He, of course, eviscerated, using these bonuses to get past her defenses, which she did not have any. Got really hurt by that eviscerate. And then she decided to concentrate. He's concentrating. A little bit of a staring contest there. I think... Has she hit him yet? She damages him along the way. I think this parry actually damaged him some. The poison arrow damaged more. He, if you notice, did two of basically the same thing in a row. He concentrated and then did something that if the damage got through it did more damage, and he did that again. Concentrated, did something. If the damage got through it did more damage. She kind of chained some concentrates because concentrate gives you no defense. So she used the last concentrate to help. And then she was kind of getting beat up, so she decided to parry and do something. Here's what she was doing. She saw the pattern, and she thought he was going to do a melee card again. Because it did concentrate, melee, concentrate. She thought maybe melee, but he tricked her with the poison arrow. I don't think he even tricked her. I set up his deck before she even did anything. Just kind of drew the cards one at a time. Okay, then she did the anticipate, and this is kind of what I really like this Anticipate card, because a lot of this game is, I don't want to say paper, rock, scissors, but it's like paper, rock, except rock can be paper sometimes. She anticipated. He hacked, which hurt her a little bit. Actually, she got pretty beat up in this battle. But that made him play what he was going to play first, and what he played was Eviscerate, which hurt her some more. She played Attack of Opportunity, which did a total of 7 damage to him. He had 6 left at that time. She defeated the Black Serpent. She did not want to go out of that battle without taking him down. Scoots does not like to have wounded enemies out and about. She wants, if you tangle with her, she wants you to be gone. So that was how that shook out. She lost quite a lot in the process. She had a fairly substantial hand. Now she's down to 5 cards. That's not the worst thing in the world, except that she's down here. I used a circle to mark where they were. Lord, Black Serpent is there. Her life, however, is beat up. Luckily, she has a pretty good shot of getting up here to rest in Minas Tirith. Right now, actually, it's her turn, so that's not bad. Before we move on to Aqualad, I just want to say Scoot's really cleaned up. She got this Corruption card due to a Shadow card that Curly played on her at the start of the battle. She had to choose to either get beat or get hurt from her life deck, or else get corrupted. She chose Corruption, even though their goal is to not be corrupted. Partially because she was looking at getting this heaping pile of favor, which she just got by collecting everything on the board. She's planning on resting, so she doesn't mind spending the cards, and she's in a haven, and she figured she could just get rid of it if it was too much of a burden. But here she made a choice that I think she probably wouldn't have had this been not been part of a mega tournament. She chose to snatch up Boromir, who is right here, this turn rather than waiting or possibly letting Barivor get it, purely because if she finishes better, she gets more points. You know, she could have just gotten it next turn, or, you know, but she, you know, it's kind of a race with the heroes now. And so Mooney had his Aqualad. Basically, all he did was just move. He got to Lothlorien. His plan is to, you know, be ready to pounce down here. And Fangorn, I don't know if I said on this video or not that I was under the misconception that Red Tomato's goal was to get to Fangorn. It's actually Aqualad's. Red Tomato's trying to get up here somewhere, the ruins of Angmar. So anyway, so he wants to get to Fangorn, and he wants to take on the Mouth of Sauron. He thinks that would be tough. All right.